Hi, I'm Mike Bellevue. I'm the black powder editor for Guns of the Old West magazine. And about a year ago, I did a video on how to disassemble and clean Colt cap and ball revolvers. And almost immediately I started getting emails asking me to do a Remington video, and I'm sorry it's taken so long to get there, but we'll try to do that right now. I was out at the range yesterday, and I was shooting quite a few cap and ball revolvers, and I've saved this one out for last for cleaning, because I think the best way to show a disassembly and reassembly video is to actually clean the gun. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll show you my procedures for that, and by the time we're done you'll know how to do it. Now, if you've seen the Colt video, Remingtons, they function very similarly. In fact, it's almost amazing that they could have gotten that lock work through the patent office, but they have some real quirks for disassembly. So if you've never done one before, this would be a good video for you to watch, because it can be a little bit of a head scratcher to figure it out on your own. So here we go. The first thing that I do when I'm cleaning the gun is I remove the cylinder and I clean that first. So we're going to put the gun on half cock. I'm going to drop the loading lever, and that allows me to pull the base pin, and you take the cylinder out by kind of rotating it clockwise and pushing it. So we've got that guy out, and I'm going to take a nipple wrench and I'm going to remove all 6 of the nipples, and that is pretty simple. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop them all in this shot shell, just an empty shot shell, and I'm going to take my mixture of ballistol and water. That's 1 part ballistol, 10 parts water, and I'm just going to squirt that up and cover the nipples. So I'm going to do all 6 of these guys and drop them in there and let them soak. Alright, we've got the cylinder cleared of the nipples, and now we're going to take our ballistol and water mixture, and I'm going to just squirt everything on all sides, and I'm going to let that sit for just a minute, not for too long. We're going to go through a lot of paper towels while doing this. Okay. Now, I'll let that just drain a little bit, which will be ruining that piece of paper towel. I'll just pop that aside. Okay, now I'm going to take some cloth cleaning patches. I am going to just squirt one with our ballistol mix. Flip this baby over. Now I've got a cleaning jag, and the barrels on these 44 caliber cap and ball guns are really 4.52 inches in diameter, so you want to clean the barrels with a 45 caliber jag, but the chambers are only 4.50, which means that the 45 caliber jag, you can use it, but it's going to be very, very tight in there. So I'm just going to clean each one of these now with this jag. Alright, so now I'm going to take a dry patch, and I'm going to go through and just dry each chamber with this, and pull it out. Now that ballistol and water mixture, whatever's left in there, the water evaporates and it leaves a very thin film of ballistol oil, which is a good thing to have. Alright, now I'm going to take Q-tips, and I am going to just run around each of these cutouts, getting it clean. Alright, so I'm just going to do each one of those, and then we'll be pretty much ready to put the nipples back in. Alright, I'm going to just pour the nipples out of that solution now, and I'm going to take a bronze brush and just a couple of patches, and we're going to go over and we're going to clean off the nipples. So we're just going to grab them, patch on top, patch on the bottom, give them a little bit of a wipe, I go over the threads. Okay, if you want to make your life difficult, anything you do that's a little bit cumbersome, try doing it with a camera in between your two arms. All right, so I'm going to clean the threads. I'm going to hold the threads, and I'm going to clean the actual cone of the nipple. Okay, so I'm going to clean the cone of the nipple, and I'm going to just go over the threads one more time. Make sure they're clean. I didn't used to do this until I started using stainless steel nipples on some of my guns. And it's amazing how much fouling is still left on after you rub them clean. So that's why I go over them with a bronze brush. And I'll just do all of them that way, and then we'll go to the next step. Once the nipples are clean, we've got to put them back in the cylinder, but I never do that with the threads bare like this. I always put some grease on it as an anti-seize. Keep the rust off it, keep it from binding to the cylinder. And believe me, if you do that, you'll be happy you did. I'm using Birchwood Casey's choke tube lube, but I've used a lot of other things over the years. Plenty of different things will work. Almost any grease or normal automotive anti-seize compound works quite well too. So I'm going to screw them in, and we're going to do all 6 of these the same way, and then we'll be good. Well, we've got all 6 nipples back in, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a Q-tip, and I'm going to go over the face of each chamber, and I'm going to get any grease from that choke tube lube that might have gotten on the face of the nipple. I'm just going to clean that off. There we go. And we'll make sure that we're all clear. So that's done. Now we're ready to get back to the gun proper. That's the end of part 1. We've got the cylinder nice and clean, and now we're ready to get on to the rest of the gun. So in part 2, I'll show you how to take apart the action of the gun itself and clean everything up.